friends. Welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thanks for stopping by to visit with me today. It is Friday, so yay, we made it to Friday. Do you have plans for the weekend? What do you have going on? At this moment, I don't have set plans for the weekend. We may not go anywhere Saturday. We may just stay home. Big Daddy hasn't been feeling too well. I've been having some issues too, and we might just need a down day. I'm thinking that's what we do. So I'll just come hang out with you and share whatever it is I am doing. Hopefully I can get my other parts of my Ursula filmed and up. So that's my goal. That's my goal for the weekend. Anyway, today I wanted to share my project that I've been working on. It's a project with this Lovey. I am ready to put this together, and I can't wait. Yesterday I said I'd probably have this out next week. I can't wait. I got to put this together. So here we go. I am working on this. This is from a Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel Cotton Sparkle Cake. There is a lot of sparkle going on in this that you're not picking up. But it is very sparkly. And it worked out really cute. I used the whole cake. I think these cakes are about... Now this one's not sparkle, but I'm going to go ahead and read the yardage on this one. It says 335 yards. And the cake was about this size. So it's a smallish size cake. And this is exactly what I had left over. Now on this, that is a 3-weight yarn, and I used a J hook, which is a 6mm hook, because I wanted that drapiness, and I love the drapiness that it did create there. So that is this part. Now I made that up, and I had something else in mind with it, and then as I was making it up, and just these beautiful shimmery colors were coming out, and another idea popped in my head. Now I'm sure there is a project out there like this. I haven't seen it. I didn't go searching for it or anything like that, because I just wanted to make mine the way I wanted to make it, you know. I had a vision in my head, and I wanted to carry that out. So I pulled out my book, Plenty of Fish in the Sea. I love this book. It is by Stringy Ding Ding, and it is a great book. This book, it's 20 amigurumi patterns in here, all kinds of different things to make, and I have made lots of things out of this book, and I will continue to make lots of things out of this book. Like, this is a staple in my crochet journey, okay? I know I will make this mermaid 100 times again. I know I will make different fish and things in here, the axolotls, and just different patterns from this book. I know I will make them over and over again. And if I ever get to the point where I have a craft show, or either putting stuff on Etsy, I will be making things from this book and putting on there. So it is a great book. I did do a review of this book when it first came out, and I fell in love with it right away. So I will link that review of this book in the description box below. And also, I'm going to pop in a clip here of what I made with this book this past summer. I made an Under the Sea wreath to go in my local fair that we have that comes at once a year, you know, and you enter things into the arts and crafts fair, you know. And so I made a wreath. It was just something I dreamed up in my head, another vision, and I carried through and, you know, completed it and entered it in the fair, and it did win first place. So I'm going to add a little clip in right here showing you the wreath. Here is the Under the Sea wreath that I made using this book. I made this
this wreath this past summer to enter into my fair under the wreath category, and so that's what I did, and it did win first place. But I just wanted to show you the things I used out of this book. There's the mermaid, and you can see that one has totally different hair from the one I just did. There's Nemo, and a little sea turtle, a pufferfish, a little octopus, no, a jellyfish, a seahorse, a little fish there, starfish, a crab, and then here is a clam, oyster clam, and then a little octopus over here, and then there's some coral reef, and there's some coral and some seaweed. So this wreath, the items on this wreath, most of them were based on, or the patterns did come from this book. The ones I don't think came from this book was the pufferfish. I ended up just making it looking at a different pattern on from a different book, and I believe the octopus is one I just made up myself. The rest of them I do believe came from this book by Stringy Ding Ding, and I really do love this book. I've used it a lot, and I know I will continue to use it in the future. But anyway, I just wanted to give you this little look-see of what I have done using that book. And I've made other things too that are not on this wreath, of course. But I do like the way the little mermaids turn out. She turned out really cute. Each time I make one, I do the hair different. So that one might have used the pattern in the book. I'm not really sure.
Okay, so I hope that little clip turns out okay, and I'm going to insert it there so you can see that wreath and everything. But back to the book, Plenty of Fish Under the Sea, I decided I was going to take that mermaid pattern from that book and use it with this Lovey. So this is what I have so far. This is what I have going on. I have my little naked mermaid. She's bald right now, and she doesn't have her bikini top on, or a mouth, or anything, or her arms, but she's going to. So I have my little mermaid here. Now I did use a 5mm hook to make her, and I've used the Premier Just Yarn worsted. This is a 4-weight yarn, 131 yards on this little package, and this is called, the colorway is Parchment. So that is Parchment, and it worked up like this. So I like the color of her. I like that shade of tannish. Okay, so that is what I used for her head and chest, and her arms are also made with the Parchment. So I love that. I think that worked up great. I'll have to get some more of this colorway because I really do like that skin tone. Okay, now she needed a bra, and I went to Hobby Lobby. You probably saw my little video yesterday where I went to Hobby Lobby looking for some sparkle yarn, and I ended up getting this blue color here, which is called Aqua Sparkle, and I got it to match that blue. It's not an exact shade, but it matches close enough. So that is what I got to make her little bikini top. So this will go on her right here. We're going to go put all this together in just a moment, so bear with me. That is her bikini top. And then I bought this, but then I decided it was a little too light for hair. And then I remembered that I had bought this Mainstay Sweet Violet that is a sparkle. I remembered that I had bought that, so I did her hair in purple. And here we go. I don't probably have it on there just straight yet, but this is her hair, and I just made it really curly hair. I don't know. I just sat there and did that while I watched some YouTube videos. I was curling hair. I like the way it turned out. I just like the way it turned out, and I'll tell you a little bit more about her hair, what I did when we go to my desk to work this up. So my plan is to sew the little bikini top on, sew her arms on, and then and her hair will be sewn on too. I'm gonna hot glue most of the hair. I'm gonna hot glue the hair on, and then I decided because I want to attach this mermaid on here, I decided to make a little disc right here. I made this little disc. So after I put the bra on and the arms, I'm going to stuff it with more stuffing and fill this in here. Put this in and sew that around on there. And then I'm going to attach it to this. Okay, that's my plan. Yep, that's my plan. And so this is going to make my Mermaid Lovie. And I'm excited about it. I think it's going to turn out really cute. I hope it is as cute in actual project as it is in my head, okay? Sometimes things are cute in my head and I finish making it and I'm like, you're not so cute. But I think this is going to be cute. So let's go to my desk and come craft with me. Get you a project and a drink and let's go.
Okay, I've came to my desk to work and Sassy insists on being up here. I've put her down 3 times and she's trying to tell me that I don't have a choice. I've tried to make it uncomfortable for her. I've took a plastic bag and was rattling it, trying to make her not want to be up here. But she says I don't have a choice. Okay, so I'm going to hot glue these little lips on here. These little lips I purchased on Etsy, a little package of them. And so, yeah, I'm just going to use a little touch of hot glue on this and try to get these straight, like they were laying perfectly straight just now. But when I lay them back on there, they may not be so straight. Okay, so I had that lined up just like that. And I still have to glue down the other side. I just used that pin as a guide to let me know where I was placing it. Sassy, you are in the way. This is the cat that has to be with me no matter what. Wherever I go, she goes. Okay, I'm going to just use a touch more glue on this side here. Alright, I think her mouth looks great. It might be a little bit crooked, but, you know, sometimes people's mouths are crooked. Alright, I was going to try to sew this on, but now I think I'm just going to hot glue it on. Just to save pain in my hands. I'm going to put some glue right here in the center and glue that part down. and then go from there. And I'm just trying to line this up with the mouth. Okay. Alright, so now I have her bikini top on. I am going to get some yarn and try to kind of just sew around that. I didn't glue all the way up to the edge because I was just trying to get it on there and thinking I would try to sew around the edge a little bit. But sewing is really hard on me. But I will kind of give it a go. But if it doesn't, seem like it's working out good, I'll just stop and glue the edges down. Okay, I'm going to start right over here. I'm going to leave some tail here so that I can tie it when I get back around. I can tie it off there. Okay. Let me see if I can just going to kind of go in and then up. Okay, and again, I'm going to go to the inside, and then I'm just curving it up to come up in the next stitch. Sassy, am I bothering you? I'm so sorry. Didn't get both loops of that stitch, so alright. So I guess it's going better than I thought. I think this is easy, just kind of doing it like this, sticking it in. I'm going all the way to the inside of the chest, and then curve, my needle is bent, but curving it on up to come up into the next stitch over here. It's going pretty good. I'm gonna move this yarn out of the way. Sassy, you can get down at any moment. Anytime you feel like going bye-bye, you can. Go play, go take a nap somewhere else. That is really looking good. I hope I don't have that coming on the same stitch. I didn't. So I hope this gives you some ideas of ways that you can just take different crochet patterns and use them in different ways to make, you know, a totally different project, a new project. I've done that several times with like different amigurumi heads and turned it into like cupcakes. So don't be afraid to experiment and just play with different amigurumi patterns. Mix two patterns together. This one wouldn't quite come up in the next stitch, probably because there was some hot glue there, so I just went over another stitch. I'm almost through with the little bikini top. All right. Now let's see. Just going to go in right here. That'll be the end of this, and then I'm going to tie those two ends together. And it doesn't matter if there's tails there, because this is going to be up inside the little chest area. But I do want to get it tied better than that. Okay, so there we go. I think that looks really cute on her, and her little crooked smile is perfect. Okay. Alright, so now her arms need to go next. And I do have a little bit of a tail that I left on the arms in hopes that I could crochet them on. And I'm just looking at my arms to see which one goes on which side. So I'm just going to crochet her little arm on right here. Okay. Just kind of lay it on right here. I'm just going to go through into the inside of the chest and then back up into like the next stitch. That's all I'm doing. I might go back across and do a little more a little more stitching on just so that it's a little more secure. I'm going to see how this feels. I need to get a stitch right there. Sorry, I'm going off camera. Someone's taking up my workspace. Now I'm just going back across, but maybe in about every other stitch or something, just to give it a little more security there. Sassy? Sassy girl. Okay, and you can just keep going back and forth on your arm until you feel like it is secure. Her arm looks kind of long. Let me just get an idea of how that is going to look. I'm going to hold it off camera for a minute. Her arm might have could have came up a little higher, but and it possibly could have came a little bit further, closer to the, I'm trying to decide, do I need to take that off? Let me work on this other arm. I'm not going to tie this one off yet. I'm going to try this other arm and see what my thoughts on it. Okay. All right, let's see. I probably should have just glued the arms on. I'm going to sew it on because I sewed the other one on. I'm trying to sew it like about in the same placement as the other side. Okay. Get stuffing coming back through here. All right, I will admit this sewing is a bit much for me. It is. That's why I usually just hot glue. But I thought I would just try to sew it on today. and I don't know how it's really going. And I'm going to try to sew this one a little different. I'm going to go back and do a few more stitches on the other side too. But I'm going to come up from the top and then come over some of that to make it a little bit closer to her arm. I may make the arm a little bit closer to her shoulder, chest area there. Yeah, I don't think my sewing part's going that great. Okay, so I'm going to come back and do the same thing on this side. I want to come up above the arm. And then come down and get all the stitches there. Okay, let me see how this is going. I don't guess it's too bad, but I feel like her arms are really long. Okay, I think her arms are pretty secure. That is on there. I'm giving it a tug, and it seems to be there. So on the inside, I'm going to cut this tail here and just tie my two tails together from where I started the... No, I think that's the tail from where I had ended the chest. But I'm going to tie those together. Okay, and those tails can just go up in it with the stuffing. Alright, now I'm just going to tie off on this side to secure that stitch, that tail. I'm just going to do it one more time. the tail for that. Alright, so now we need to do the hair. Well, and this part here. I guess I could go ahead and do that. Let me find that circle disc that I had made, and I left a little tail on it to sew it in. And I don't know that the circle is going to fit completely. Like, I don't know that it's the same amount of stitches as the bottom of her chest area, but I'm going to make it work, okay? This is a make it work project. Make it fit the vision. So I am going to put this where I started. I am going to put that in the back. And I'm going to stuff this a little more, so I'm going to get me some polyfill out. And maybe I should get to sewing it, and then I can stuff some more stuffing up in there before I actually close it up. Okay, so I'm going to lay my disc in here. And take my needle. Bear with me, I'll get it. I just have to get it lined up. Okay, like I said, I probably don't have the same amount of stitches. I didn't count, but we're just going to pinch it and make it fit when we get closer to the other side. I just thought putting this disc on the bottom here would give it a more solid bottom from what, for what I'm doing, since I'm going to be attaching it to a Lovey. I didn't want it to be open right here. Oh, sassy. All right. It is taking a little bit of time, so I think I could pause y'all and let me just circle around this and come back. I don't know, you're probably getting tired of watching me struggle sewing this on. Well, I think I'm getting in a little bit of a rhythm now. I hope I have a long enough tail and don't run out. Cat's like, what? Sassy girl, you're all up in the way. Like I said, I put her down like 3 times, and she was like, why are you putting me down? This is going pretty good. The reason why I thought, well, I better go ahead and just keep stitching it, because at the end, when I'm getting closer to the end, I might see that my stitch count here isn't going to line up so great. So I wanted to show you whatever I do to try to pinch that and just make it work. You know, sometimes projects don't turn out to be perfect. You have to just fudge it up a little bit to make it work. And I'm thinking that's what's going to happen here at the end. And if it does, it does. We'll make it work. All right. I don't know if y'all can hear her purring. This is working out pretty good. I figured it was going to not work out so good as I got around closer, and it still might have a few issues, but so far it doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a problem. Not matching up. Before I close it up, I am going to stick some more stuffing in there, so y'all remind me. My needle's trying to go too high. Alright, I'm going to hot glue the hair on. Okay, let me stick a little stuffing in here. Or a lot of stuffing, rather. Oh. I had to run to my room to get a little stuffing, and Sassy thought I was going to take a nap, so she got up in the bed, and then I turned out the light and took off. So she's probably back there wondering what happened to me. She is one of those cats that she gets in her head what she wants to do, and that's what we do. Like, I don't have a choice. Okay, let me see how that's looking. I'm tunnel. I'm taking my thumb and I'm making a tunnel up through here. So I want to stuff that little tunnel with some polyfill to fill her chest out so it, you know, doesn't end up flat. Okay, and then this part I don't want to bulge so much. So I think this is good. I think I'm going to be happy with that. Alright. Probably need to slow down and take my time. I feel like I've been rushing through the whole project trying to get it done so that it's not such a long video, but I feel like I need to take my time so I can do it my best. But look at there, I did not have to fudge that up any. It worked out perfect, and I did not count stitches or anything like that. That is awesome when things like that happen, right? Okay, so I'm going to, oh, I don't want to lose it yet. I was going to just tie off. I usually like to do that twice, just because I want to know that it's going to be secure. Okay, and now I'm going to just take my needle and just run it through, come out the bottom, and clip. Alright, so that's what I have so far. Now we need to put some hair on this little baldy. Okay. So here is my hair, and I wanted to show y'all just a little bit of how I figured that up, what I did. I knew I wanted some short hair at the beginning, so I didn't count my stitches. I just was going to fudge it to make it work. So what I did, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I did 8 strands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, okay. I did 6 strands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is my very center right here. And what I did was I chained 8 and I did 2 single crochets in each chain all the way back to the head. And then I slip stitched in the next stitch, single crocheted in the next stitch, and chained 8. Did 2 single crochets all the way back to the wig cap. Single slip stitch in the next stitch and single crocheted in the next. So there is a little bit of gap. First I wasn't slip stitching in the next and then single crochet in the next. First I was slip stitching back at the beginning of this, but they were just too bunched up and it looked really crowded. So I got about around here and I ripped back out and started back over here again. So I did the 8 chain length hairs in the front so that this would be my very center, and then I did a 12 length chain, a 14 length chain, a 20 length chain, a 30 length chain, and then I did 40, and I kind of just eyeballed my centerpiece and I put a stitch marker there so I would know that I was at the center point back here. And then from this over here, I wanted to match up what I did on this side. And so I put a stitch marker for where I wanted my 12 length chain, my 14th length chain, my 20 length chain, and my 30 length chain. So I knew I needed those spaces, you know, were taken already. And the rest could be 40s. But, somewhat right back here. And so I counted up my, you know, chains, my stitches that I had on the wig cap, and it wasn't going to work out quite right over here. So in the back, I fudged it just a little bit right here. So that's not as big as a gap as this one is or something, you know. I fudged those two in the very back up just a little bit because I'd rather it been in the back than on the side. So that's what I did. And I don't know how well you can see that, but I just kind of wrote it out as if I was going in a circle. But I, you know, after I got that point, I could just see what I needed to do. So that's how I figured that. So if you're ever in that situation and you're playing with hair, you could do something like that. Okay, so let me get little Miss Baldy here. I know that this is the center, so I want to match up the wig cap, the center of the wig cap and the center of her head together. And I'm just looking to see, I'm looking to see like if I need to shift the wig cap any, or, you know, how that looks really. Now, where is my 3 and 3? Right here. So that is definitely the center. So, you know what? I am just going to start gluing this down. Okay. And I'm just going to pull that down and just kind of hold it and let that let it dry a little bit. And I think I need some more. Another glue stick ready to go. And that's what I'm going to do all the way around, except I'm going to go to the back and flip it forward and get glue all right up in here. Okay. All right, now you get this glue stick ready to go. Okay, so I think I could come right here and put some glue. This glue really does hold well. There's no question in my mind that if it's not going to hold or anything, I already know that it's going to hold. So I don't have any issues using a hot glue gun at all because I used it plenty of times and I know how well that it works. Some people are apprehensive, and that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But I know what I know. And I'm going to check this again just to make sure that I did get all the edges. This part right here might need a little more. And I was wondering if I wanted to glue these curls up or leave them down. I might glue them up because down, I don't know. I'll just leave them for now. Okay, I'm going to go around and check this. So like this little part needs a little bit more. And actually, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now this is what I want to do. I want to put some glue in the very middle of this to attach it, but then I want to sew around it. But I want to put some glue to hold it where I want to hold it. And I'm thinking I want it diagonal. So this would be in the front, this point. I'm lining it up the way I want it right here. So I'm thinking I'm going to put glue on these center pieces right here and then set her on there. And then I'm going to sew, turn it over upside down and try to sew this piece on here to her. But I'm looking for something to put under this. Just putting something under here in case, you know, glue goes. So I don't glue it to my foam board. I'll glue it to that envelope and can peel it off. So I'm trying to match up this little hole right here and this little hole right here. It's kind of what I want to do. All right. So here it goes. Okay. It's there. It's there. Whatever happens, happened, okay? It's there. But I do have it lined up where my center point here is lined up right with her chest, the center of her little bikini top. So there we go. I just wonder if I could turn those arms a little. We'll see how it looks in the end. Just giving this a little time to let that glue cool and harden before I go messing with it. So tell me what y'all think. How's it turning out? Be careful not to get my glue, this on my glue gun over here. But I'm liking how it's turning out so far. It is matching up with the vision in my head, all except for the arms. I feel like are a little long. I did make them exact of the pattern, and when I've made the mermaid, the arms look fine. I think they just look a little odd to me because I'm attaching them to just the top half of the body and this. I think that's why they look a little off to me. Okay, that's there. Let me just look and see. Alright. It didn't stick to the envelope, so, but I wanted to play it safe. Okay, so I'm going to just turn this over and see what I could add a little more hot glue to pull that. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is put some glue on a few more of these and then just pull them over. To give it a little more of a base. I still want to sew around it, but I also want to give it a little more of a secure base right here. Get it lined up. And I'm holding this up so it doesn't touch that. Okay. So I would hate to glue this to that. So you want to be careful about that. I'm going to let that cool just a little bit before I turn it and do anything else. It's cooling pretty good. Alright, so let me see what about right here. So I could put glue on these 3 shells there. I could do that, but I don't want to do too many at a time, because I do want to make sure. I'm not going to go all the way up on that shell. I'm just going to do the bottom part of it. Okay. Just giving it a little time. I want it to cool. So I don't want any of this. I'm making sure it's not sticky or anything, because I don't want this to stick to that for sure. That would be a disaster. So when you use hot glue, you do have to be careful, because if you mess up, you mess up. There's no pulling it apart. Okay. Alright, let's see what this part's looking like. Let me make sure that's not sticky in a little bit. So let's let it dry a little bit more. I'm thinking I could come back. I don't know, I'm going to have to look at it a little closer and see about sewing around that base again onto this. So that's my plan. Now am I back to, no, I got a little bit more, but let me make sure that's dry super good. Yeah, just want to make sure that's dry because we do not want to mess this up after we got this far. Okay, I'm going to put a little glue here. I think we're back to the part where we've already worked. Pretty sure, yep. So I'm just gonna let that dry for a moment, guys. Okay guys, here's what it's looking like. I wish I could hold it up right here to show you, but when we go back to the yarn room, I will hold it up and you will see like how awesome that really did turn out. But I'm going to flip it over to the back, and this is where I'm going to start sewing this around the edges. So I'm just going to cut a strand here. This is so fiddly and tedious. I don't like tedious stuff. Okay. Alright, so my plan is to just sew this on. I'm starting in the back, and I'm going to tie this right here, and then when I get back to this, I will tie my tail to this tail and tuck them in. And I'm just going to tie that several times there. Okay, so what I'm doing is just, it's not going to be every stitch, but I am going to tie this up, you know, sew it up tight to the base that I kind of made. And who knows, I might go around it more than once. I'm going to look at this after a few stitches and see how it's looking to make sure it's not looking ugly. I think it's working out really well. And this kind of looks like, when I hold it up, it kind of looks like a dress on her. So that was awesome. go through this again, give that one another stitch for security. But I'm loving this. Okay, let me make sure that this is still going to hang correctly. Yeah. I don't know, let me lay that out right. Okay. I just didn't want it to twist up and not hang the way I'm, you know, my vision. So we're at the front, so we're halfway around. I'm just taking it slow because I do want it to, you know, look right in the end. I don't think I'll have to go around it twice. I think this once is secure. I was thinking it might not be quite tight and nice and tidy, but I think it is. I mean, I'll hold it up and look at it really well before I make a final decision. But I think she's really cute. In the end, I like the way I put her together. I like that I did the hot glue on the under that circle piece to attach it, you know, to the bottom of the chest, and then I'm sewing it around. I like that I did that because it brought it up to her body all the way around. So what I got going on right here. I know I need a stitch right up in here somewhere. Sometimes I'm putting closer to like two right close together, or almost in the same stitch, just to give it, you know, strength. Sorry. Now I'm back to my beginning, that's exactly what I'm going to do, is put 2 stitches right there close together, and I'm going to tie this off and about 3 times. And then take my needle and go in right at that stitch. And just bring my needle, I'm gonna go up and bring my needle out right here. Alright guys, let's go to back to the yarn room and I will show you my mermaid.
Hey friends, so I'm back in the yarn room and I want to show you how my mermaid turned out. I love her, y'all. She turned out awesome. Okay, by doing what I did in the middle, it creates this hollow tunnel right here. Like this all just looks like a hollow tunnel right here because it brought this all the way out, and then I sewed it also to give it that extra security. And that also brought it out flat so that I could sew it and it turned out correctly. And so it just looks like a dress on her. I'm not sure you're really getting that effect that I can see in person. I'm not sure if you can really see what I'm talking about in the camera. But I lined up this corner here, this little peak. I lined that up going straight up to her center of her bikini. So she would have this, long tail of this in the front, and then also the same thing in the back. And then the sides are there, but they're just a little bit shorter, right? I love how she turned out. I'm very pleased with that. I think I will be making more like this just because it's cute and it turned out so well. Okay, her arms don't look quite so long now. Without a body there, they looked like very, very long. Like very not proportioned at all. But now that the dress is there, the arms look normal. Yeah, I was kind of worried about that. I was like, what did I do to the arms? But the arms, they're real secure because I did sew them on. And this, I glued it and sewed around it. So, yeah. And then her hair, I'm just going to give you a little twirl of her hair. And, I just curled it all the way. And these will stretch out. They can stretch out. They don't have to stay such tight curls. So I'm going to try to remember to leave some links. What am I supposed to leave links for? I said one before, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, I will leave a link to making the curls. Did I say that before? It was something I said I was going to leave a link to. But I do like her hair. I like how it turned out, and it's just so curly. Yeah, I can leave a link to how to make curly doll hair in the description box below. A link to stuffing amigurumis. I don't think you need a link to anything else. But guys, I really do love how she turned out. And I think it looks like a dress on her. Just to show you what the underside looks like. It looks fine. And then, I went around and sewed that. You can't even see where I sewed it. So I think she's adorable. And I can't wait to go see the new Little Mermaid movie. I wanted to go last night, actually, but Big Daddy didn't feel so well. And his foot was hurting him. And he's got a lot of stress going on at work right now. And so I didn't mention it. I was just like, oh, okay. And I didn't say anything because I know he didn't feel like it. Alright guys, well I appreciate you watching my video and coming along and crafting with me, and I hope you enjoyed the video and that you maybe got some ideas for something that you're making or something you've had in your head for a while you need to get out. But yeah, I really do like my little mermaid with purple hair. Alright friends, I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.